All right. Hello, Internet. Well, I'd like to give my review of the Silent Hill 2 remake. As the title suggests, I gave it a 9 out of 10, and I'd like to explain why. So I got a list here of pros and cons. And actually, it does have more cons than pros, but we'll get to it. Which I know there's the poop sandwich people who seem to think that you're not allowed to criticize. You just consume product. But they're idiots. What I refer to as a poop sandwich person is a person you can give them poop on bread, call it a sandwich, and they would graciously accept and even say thank you. Don't be a poop sandwich person. They're stupid. I just wanted to make fun of them. Okay, on to the actual review of it. Starting with the pros. Well, it's fun. Not too loud. I hope that's not too loud. It's fun, which is the most important thing with video game, is that it's fun. If it's not fun, I'm not gonna play. It was engaging for hours. Turn that down. Which is really rare for a video game, especially a modern game. Most games I get bored of in like 20 minutes. They're just not fun. No, I played this for hours and hours on end. I just wanted to keep playing. So that's a pro. From what I noticed, they didn't really cut anything out. Um, there was some censorship, which I am never ever a fan of. But I'll get to that in cons. But even though did they did censor some things, they really didn't cut anything out. At least not that I noticed. Which for a remake is an achievement. So what's a pro? Another pro is Eddie. Yeah, I like what they did with Eddie. He's same character. Um, I feel like, but they definitely exaggerated his features a bit more, which I feel like is a good thing. I like his new voice. They made him a little whinier, which I feel like really fits his character. So yeah, it was a good one. Um, there's the leg monsters. What turn that down on me? There we go. The Yeah, I feel like the leg monsters like what they did with it, where they run and hide. I feel like that was a really, really good idea. I mean, there are times when they get cheap shots on you, which are annoying. Like you don't actually see them; they're just like default hiding in an area where like they're going to get a shot on you no matter what. It's a cheap shot, which is annoying. Um, but to be fair, if I was a developer, I'd probably do the same thing because it'd be funny. So, um, but yeah, overall, I like that. And then the wall crawler version was a really good idea. Um, yeah, which was I saw them running around the walls. Oh my god, these guys can be annoying to shoot down. But no, they're actually pretty easy to shoot down. No problem fighting them. And it was cool. I like what they did with it. And the next pro, I really didn't see much wokeness in it. And yes, wokeness is a real thing. Uh, other, you know, and I know there's people who are like, oh, it's never been defined. No one knows it's been defined a million times. People won't listen. So I'll define it again here. Not that it doesn't matter because you won't listen. Um, Wokeness is a cult. It's a Marxist ideological cult that believes the fundamental reality is oppressor versus oppressed, which is its utter nonsense. So, but thankfully, I really didn't see any wokeness in this game. There was some censorship, as I said, which I guess has a tinge of wokeness. But if that's it, if that's all of it in this, that's in this, and that probably came from some higher up in Bloober or Konami that was like, no, you at least gotta censor mature game that's for mature adults. It's mature. So, and developers probably just like, oh, fine. So, I mean, uh, other than that, I didn't notice any wokeness. So, um, that's pretty good. Um, the puzzles were good in the game. The puzzles, I like the puzzles. There were a couple that kind of I thought were kind of stupid, but uh, see, my problem is I always overthink the puzzles. They're always a lot simpler than I think they are. But oh no, yeah, the puzzles were pretty good. And yeah, those are my pros. I probably missed some stuff. I probably could have talked a bit more, but whatever. Let's go to the cons. All right, my first con on the list. Sometimes James just won't pick up an item. Oh, excuse me. He won't. Like I'll be looking straight at an item, and I click the button 1,000 times, and he will not pick up the item. And it's really agitating. Um, I did play in retro mode, which is nice. I'm glad they included it. But I think what's happening is since they use the floating icon system that Resident Evil uses in a lot of games, which I hate that system, uh, it kind of conflicted with the retro mode, where in, retro mode, you just stand in a general, you stand within the box here, look at the general location of the item, you're able to pick it up. But with this, since it's a floating icon, you got to look at just the right spot. Like there are times when I literally had to look up to pick up an item in a drawer. It was really agitating. And I'd be in a boss fight. There'd be an item I want to pick up. Not that I really needed it, but I want it. Um, I just sit there, look straight at it, click, 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 and James just will not pick it up. So that was pretty agitating. I got a lot of stutter in the game. At first it was just kind of every once in a while, like my app probably just hitting a loading zone, which is fine. That really didn't bother me. But then it got more and more. Like as soon as I hit the hospital, it got really bad. And then it started stuttering every time I aimed my weapon. So I'd be trying to shoot an enemy and it stutter, which is obviously annoying. So yeah, and I tried everything. I updated my graphics card. I even tried a mod that was supposed to fix it, which actually made it worse. So I got rid of the mod. I made sure everything was turned off, all the background processes, and it's just stutter, stutter, stutter. So that's annoying. It's not like I have a weak computer. I mean, it is a laptop, but it has a 4050, has an i7. I forget how much RAM it has. I do want more. I wish I had more RAM. Anyways, I always want more RAM though. um, sorry. But anyways, enough of the stuttering. Uh, oh, okay. So on to the censorship. So the scene where you find Pyramid Head and the leg monsters, that was censored, which I'm never a fan of censoring. And it was like they completely took out that whole, you know, chunk of the scene. And the scene suddenly didn't make any sense because, you see the leg monster get thrown, and then you see Pyramid Head, and the Pyramid Head just kind of stares at you for a while, and then he leaves, and it's just like, oh, okay, I guess that was interesting. So with the censorship, it just didn't make any, it just the censorship made the scene make no sense. So yeah, that was pretty stupid. The thing is, like, it's a mature, like, there's 1,000 warning labels at the beginning game saying, "Hey, it's a mature game. You buy the game, it says mature on the label." Like, has a name like Silent Hill 2. Like, you know, it has mature themes. It's a game for adults. It's called, you know, mature, mature audience. And they go and censor it. It's so stupid. Like, see, that's what I mean. Like, it had that tinge of wokeness. That's really all I noticed. It's really annoying. Um, they changed Maria's costume, which I know there's, the poop sandwich people will roll their eyes and be like, "Oh, what does it matter? Oh." Well, if it doesn't matter, then why did they change it? See, if it doesn't matter, then just keep it the same. It's the pointless changes that make fans angry. The pointless changes. But, they're just I don't know, poop sandwich people, man, they're stupid. And they removed the patches from James' jacket. Uh, Again, pointless. Like, why? Why would you do that? I did see like one random comment online saying it's said because it was some kind of like legality or something, which maybe, but I doubt it. I mean, it was just I only saw that one comment mentioning it, and it's the internet, so it's probably not true. So, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was a legality thing. Sure, but if it wasn't a legality thing, then it's a pointless change. They should have kept the patches. Um, and again, I know there's going to be the poop sandwich people like, oh, why? It's just patches on a jacket. Why do you care? Well, why do you? It's because it's pointless. There's no point in removing it. There's no point in changing it. Ugh, people, I tell you. Um, oh, uh, unless you have to unlock it in some special way. There's no Born from a Wish. Um, yeah, and I think they're probably going to release it as some DLC later, which is just stupid. Like, come on, man. I hate DLC. I really do. So I hope they just release it as an update and not just, oh, you gotta pay an extra $20. So stupid. Like, I get it. Games have the prices have been stagnant for decades, which is very strange for any product. Uh, you know, and I know like they went up like $10 now, but with inflation, they should. Yeah, I get it. They should be a lot higher, but it's like if you're gonna have all these deals, just tell me the full price. Don't sit there and say, oh, it's only $60. But then they're like, oh, but if you want the other half of the game, you got to pay for all this DLC. No, just tell me the full price, please. Okay, just give me the full price. Uh, $100, fine. Here's your $100. Just give me the full game. Don't sit there and pull my leg like that. Don't sit there and be like, oh, it's the full game. Actually, it's only half the game, and you got to pay another $60. I hate that. So just give me the full product. Give me the price and give me the product. But anyways, not a side rant. So no Born from a Wish unless I just didn't unlock it and there's some special way to do that. Then I apologize, Boober team. I just didn't unlock it. Then I think I hit my mic. Sorry. Um. Oh yeah, and the dodging. Dodging only works half the time. Um. I mean, I'm not a fan of the dodging, but if you're gonna have it in a game, that's fine. I mean, I guess Homecoming had it, which is fine. Um. Just make sure it works. I feel like, well, it depends on the enemy. Some enemies it worked and some enemies it didn't. The lying figure, yeah, it seems dodging. Yeah, it worked. Um, the leg monsters and the nurses, it really didn't work because they would fly at you. Like you could be 20 feet, or maybe not 20 feet, but I'm exaggerating. But you can you can be really far away from them, and they will fly, just magnetized to you, and it's like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like you can dodge and you still get grabbed. Um, and then sometimes the dodging worked perfectly fine, and I was able to defeat multiple enemies without getting hit once. And then other times, they just magnetized to me. So it's really just the inconsistency that's annoying. Make it consistent. Um, Next point. There are so attacking the enemies sometimes like stunned them or stopped their attack, and other times it didn't, and it was kind of annoying. Again, the consistency thing. Like either your attacks stop their attack or it doesn't. The Yeah, like a lot of times I still get hit. I'm like, oh, that's annoying. But then there are times where the enemy continues the attack animation, and I see that their attack hits me, but I take no damage. Which hey, great, I didn't take any damage. It's just the inconsistency. It's annoying. Um, oh yeah, so there are certain scenes in the next point, certain scenes in the game that don't hit nearly as hard as in the original. They're not bad, they just don't hit as hard. Like the jail cell scene in the remake, it's not bad in the remake. I'm not saying it's terrible and oh, it's horrible. It's just didn't hit as hard. You know, it's like the difference between, I got you have like some big bodybuilder punching you, just decking you right in the face, and then you get some little kid just wailing on you. There's a difference. The original was like that big bodybuilder, and it just, you know, the scenes hit so good. And the remake, they fall kind of flat. The end letter reading was the same, you know, especially that last line of the letter, when you beat the game, it hits so good, but like it was just so flat in the remake, in my opinion. Um, Maybe you disagree, and that's fine. But in my opinion, they certain scenes really fell flat. Um, and then oh yeah, the Flesh Lips boss fight. Pretty sure it's called Flesh Lips. Um, I don't really see why they felt the need to change it. I mean, sure, fine, I guess. I don't know. I think the only reason I was aggravated with that boss fight is because James wasn't picking up the items. It was getting me hurt. And actually, one time I actually got killed. It was like one hit kill, but my health was fine, and that agitated me. Like really? So I think that's really the only reason why that boss fight agitated me, because the other that the bug with the not picking up items. Um, but, yeah. Um, on a couple of the puzzles. Uh, so in the original, sorry, I hit the mic again. They're in the original, um, the coin puzzle, for some whatever reason, this is years and years ago. I think I was just like still a kid. The coin puzzle really annoyed me. So then I just kind of I got a bad taste for it. It really annoys me. Um, it's not a hard puzzle. Like I've gone back and played Silent Hill 2, the original, so many times. And it's just a puzzle. There's nothing special or it just annoyed me that one time. But in the remake, I'm sitting there and I'm solving it. And I'm like, what on earth? It's not going through. I didn't realize you can flip the coins. So, like in the original, you didn't flip the coin was the coin. You couldn't flip it, and I didn't know that you can flip it. So I was actually on that puzzle for a very long time until I learned you can flip the coins. So the coin puzzle continues to annoy me. Um, but that's just kind of like a personal thing. I mean, I don't really see that making anybody else annoyed. It's just a personal thing. Um, oh, and the safe code puzzle. So there is the motel, and you go to one of the rooms. There's a letter, and certain words are all in capital, emboldened. And if you read them in order, it's a math equation, right? It's a math equation. And if you do the math equation, you get a certain number, and it's a three digit number. But the safe code is 4 digits. And I'm like, okay, well maybe I just did the math. Maybe I misunderstood the equation. Maybe so I sat there and okay, let me add stuff up in a different way. Let me try to do math in a different way. Let me do. And nothing was that. I wasn't, there's like, it's impossible to get a 4 digit number out of this. So I had to look it up. I hate looking stuff up. No, it's like, oh, well, yeah, you do the math equation, you do get a 3 digit number. So I did the math right. You get a 3 digit number, but you need a 4 digit number. But all you got to do is just add a zero to it. I'm like, are you serious? Like, so I got to arbitrarily add another number to the solution to this math equation. Why? 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 Like, why would you arbitrarily add a number to your solution of a math equation? Like, are you serious? That annoyed me. I'm like, dude, you should it's so stupid. Why would you maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just how my brain works. But you don't arbitrarily just add a number to your solution of a math equation. You don't do that. But that's how you solve this puzzle, was arbitrarily adding a number. I thought that was really stupid. Um well, that's all the points I have on my pro con list. And I'm sure there were others. I'm sure there's other stuff I can sit here and think if I really thought about it. But those are I guess those are the big points, you know? And you're like, oh, well, you have more cons than pros, so why'd you get a 9 out of 10? Well, even though I have those complaints and they're annoying, the game was fun. And that's the most important thing of a video game is that's fun, you know? Even though they did censor some stuff and change outfits pointlessly, and they did do some things that I thought were just stupid. The gameplay itself stayed pretty true to the original, um, and it's fun, and they kept me engaged for hours, and that's the most important thing, you know, like the Resident Evil, like the Resident Evil remakes. Resident Evil is my favorite series of all time. I have my complaints about the remakes, but they're fun, you know, like they have like Resident Evil 3 remake, which just they cut out half that game, and I feel like they failed on so many levels, but they somehow managed to still make it fun, you know? So I kind of let it slide because it's fun, you know? That's the most important thing of it out of a video game is that's fun. So I give it a 9 out of 10. Um, I mean, I probably would never give a game a 10 out of 10 because that'd be perfection and nothing's perfect, but a 9 out of 10. I thought, man, maybe an 8 out of 10, but that didn't sound right. Nah, I just give it a 9. And yeah, you know, if what do you think? You don't like the survival horror genre and you thought it was boring, which is fine. Then, let me know, or if you think it was great or you thought it was a terrible adaptation or remake, I guess. Not adaptation. Um, whatever, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day. God bless.